And we are live. Hello there, boys and girls, cats and dogs, and anybody else who is watching on the replay. I'm glad you are here. So, what we're doing today is a Wednesday free for all where we have no topic, we just chat. And we talk about whatever comes to mind. So, of course, the normal icebreaker questions. What's on your hook? What's in your cup? Since in my part of the country it's dinner time, have you had dinner yet? What are you planning for dinner? And tell me all. Tell me everything. That's what's going on here. So let me tell you. Okay, I usually start out just. Let me tell you about my normal weekly schedule. Today is Wednesday. I do this Wednesday free for all. Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, immediately following Granny D. If you do not know Granny D, hold on a second. Okay. You will in a moment get a link to Granny D, but don't go there now because right now, in this very moment, she's ending her live at 5 um, thingy, and she's, I hope, sending people over here. But so Wednesday, we have a Wednesday free for all. Thursdays, I usually don't post anything. Hey, Dinky Crafts. Fridays, I either have something recorded and uploaded and scheduled, or I will go live, one or the other. There's no set schedule. There's no structure. That's why I call it a formless Friday. Saturdays, I usually don't post anything. Sundays, I do a Sunday reading, which is all about the poetry. Hey, Sheila. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Um, Sundays, it's all about the poetry. Um, so, sometimes it's going to be recorded and scheduled, and sometimes it's going to be live. Hey, Frenchie, gosh, I haven't seen you in ages, Frenchie. Um, I love to do the Sunday lives where I just take a moment and read. Hey, Gabby. Hey, Crystal. Um, I love to do the Sunday readings live where I just take a moment and read the poem. Hey, Alicia. So glad to see you. Hey, Kivia. Hey, Corinne, Amina. Uh, Gabby, did I mention you? I don't remember. But anyway, sometimes the Sunday poetry readings are recorded, sometimes they're live. I have a good time with doing the lives. I always enjoy doing lives. And I get good response from the lives. Hey, Maribel. Um, and then Monday, it's always going to be my Monday Men series. And I just posted a new one this past Monday, and I think he was tremendous fun to talk to. Everyone I work with is tremendous fun to talk to. And then I also the one that's coming up next Monday, I think you'll find even more fun than usual. And then on Tuesdays, we do Topic Tuesdays. We call it a Topic Tuesday. We usually don't stay on topic, but we start out with the topic anyway. And then we're back at Wednesday. And here we are. And it looks like we have about 15 people in the chat right now, and I hope that you will all stay, and I hope that more people will come along. Oh, Leanne is here. Hey, Leanne. Anyway, hold on a second. Okay, there's the link if anybody wants to come up and join me. But we're having a good time anyway. So, everybody, tell me what's on your hook, what's in your cup, what did you have or will you have for dinner? And anything else you want to share with me? Oh, yeah. Oh, Dana. I think you were there when I shared recently. Hi, y'all.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Hey, David.
Hey, how are you?
Okay. Look. Yeah. Sunflower, I probably said your name wrong earlier. But
you definitely did, David, and I was sad about it. I was like, who's Alicia?
But I knew who you were, and it's remarkable that I even knew that because I have a mind like a Sith.
It's all right, David. I'm teasing you.
I know that you are, and if you were truly hurt, you would have left. But
yeah, this is true.
So anyway, how are you two girls? How is everybody else in the room? I see that we're getting more and more people in the room.
Yeah, pretty good.
I'm just crocheting away on this blanket here.
Oh, that's pretty.
Thank you.
Oh, what yarn are you using there?
This is Mandala Ombre in Zen.
Oh, you can never go wrong with mandala.
I love mandala.
Yeah,
what was the color?
It's the Mandala Ombre in Zen.
Zen?
Oh,
Zen.
yeah, I love the color. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I just completed this blanket in I don't remember the name of the colorway, and I've probably lost the label, or if I haven't, it's somewhere that I can't find.
Oh, that. Ooh.
And
that one.
this is this is the Drunken Granny Stitch from Secret Yarnery, Krista, who is one of my favorites, by the way. And I hope everybody knows her and likes her as well. But anyway, a couple of weeks ago, I was like between projects, or at least didn't feel like picking up any project that I had going. So I picked up a cake of the mandala, which I have in abundance, by the way.
Yeah.
And a hook, and so I started doing this, and I love the way it feels. I love the way it looks, and I might just keep it here to keep me warm. Although spring, well, I say spring is coming, but you never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
But oh gosh, I feel so cozy with it around my neck like this.
Don't you just want to go to sleep?
Do you know what? I had an afternoon nap, and my sister came and asked me if I wanted her to wake me up at the right time, because It has happened in the past when I have slept through my own scheduled live streams, or at least come late to them.
Oh, I'm sure that will happen to me at some point.
But you know what? Life goes on
Yes.
long after the thrill of living is gone. To quote
I forgot one of my lives.
Steve Cougar. No, oh gosh, who was it who said who
I
what
could
was
hear
that
it in my
song?
head, but if I sing it, they'll copyright
Oh
strike.
yeah, life goes on. Oh.
Life goes
Anyway,
on.
it'll come back to me. It does long after the thrill of living is gone. It'll come back to me. But yeah. What were we talking about?
I have no idea.
Oh, Granny is here. Yeah.
Oh, honey in my tea, Queen Bee, Granny D.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I keep promising Granny that I will come and see her. Except that the friend that I visit in Charlotte.
Mhm.
Oh, who's here? Oh, hey, Wally. The friend I visit in Charlotte is having her kitchen redone, so she can't really receive guests.
Yeah.
And so when I visit my friend in Charlotte,
Mhm.
that's like my home base, and I just pop up to Salisbury and see Granny. And I could pop over and see you, Leanne. I don't know how far you are from Charlotte. I can't remember. An hour, 2
3
hours?
hours, I think. 3 hours, I think.
3?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, we might have to meet in the middle then.
Me. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I'm pretty sure we're about 3 hours away. I'm 3 hours away because that Concord is because I remember going to Concord. Ain't that close to Charlotte? Concord.
Concord is very close to Charlotte.
My husband used to go there to the Bass Pro Shop. Ain't that where
Been all that way to go to a Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I mean, were there no alternatives closer?
At that
Or
time,
was it just because of the
at that time,
brand?
I don't think so. At that time.
Okay.
I don't know. Some Bass Pro Shops are pretty incredible inside, from what I hear. I've never been, but I have heard stories.
Honestly, I've been inside some of those huge sporting goods shops that are like amusement parks.
I do like some of their clothes. I mean, not bad.
Oh well, as far as clothes go, I'll never pay retail again because I've grown accustomed to thrifting.
Which I mean, I got all my stuff at Walmart. I love Walmart. You know, the sales rack. That's where I get my stuff.
Someone was saying earlier today that Walmart, at least their local Walmart, had some amazing deals on yarn, but I haven't been there today.
Really?
And I don't know if it's at every Walmart. So I'll have to pop out there tomorrow because I know I have a package at the UPS store waiting for me. Because that's where my P.O. box is. So when I go to the P.O. box, I'll have to pop over to Walmart and see if they have anything left at those amazing prices.
What kind of deals are there? What kind of I don't know.
If I recall correctly, they were talking about, you know, those Karen ring things, that gimmick, that packaging gimmick.
Oh yeah,
that we all hated. But they were
the shade thrown. You're not even gonna pretend you know the name, are you?
I don't even care. I mean,
they're
they'll never sponsor me,
Ogos,
so I don't care.
And they're stupid. Just
exactly. Exactly.
Which I did buy some, y'all, from Walmart online.
I had some
Christmas.
actually. My sister got me some because they were like,
bad.
buy one, get one 50% off. So basically, you got 2 of them at 75%, which was still too much.
Yeah, I mean, it takes so much to make those things basically regular price, and it's not worth it because then you have to find a place to store the darn things unless you have a toddler potty to stack them on.
But anyway, someone was saying that Walmart had them for like $1 or $2 or something, some
Oh,
ridiculously low
yeah.
price.
Well, our one
And
was,
for that, I could find a place for it.
yeah. Only the Michaels here has those. They have the bigger ones though too. The jumbo size. I forgot what they're
the
called. The big
blanket.
the big donut or whatever.
So I haven't seen them in my local Walmart,
Mm-mm.
and if I don't see them, if I do, honestly, when I go to the local Walmart, it's just for 1 or 2 specific things. It's gonna be for like orange juice, or it's gonna be for like toilet paper, or it's
Yeah.
gonna be for like Lysol. So I'm not gonna visit the yarn department because their yarn department is not something that you want to browse through and think, oh, that's nice, I'll have some of that. Because everything they have, well, some of what they have is nice and some isn't. But at the same time, why?
Well, see. One thing is that's where I got my Medela ombre.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Like that's the one thing I can find at Walmart that's worth getting there is the mandala ombre.
So that's
But
where I
other
get it.
than that, like why pay their prices for they're overpriced on cotton, they're overpriced on Lion Brand products, they're overpriced on blanket yarn, and their yarn department is tiny everywhere you go.
Yes, I've been. Hi, Granny D.
But said I
Oh,
want
Nana
my
Michelle is
Oh, I
here,
won.
and
What I did?
Debbie Reynolds is
I'm sorry.
here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And
I just
oh
did.
no,
I
go
win?
ahead.
I won. Okay, this is. I won the giveaway. I guess I won the giveaway.
Oh,
I won the giveaway.
Roseanne.
Are you serious? Okay. Is she serious?
Yes, yes, you won.
I won.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
I won.
Yeah.
Yay! I won. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
And
I'm
of
done.
course, I'm so bad with names. I'm over here not connecting the dots.
Roseanne just shared that they had to put their dog
God, thank
down.
you, Granny D, so much. I won, yo. I won.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done now. But yeah, now what was you talking about?
No, I just
Oh,
mentioned
the
that.
little things of I do get some of the cotton there. No, not the cotton. Never mind.
Okay, Roseanne just mentioned that they had to put their dog down.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
so
so sorry.
sorry.
Oh, I know
And
exactly how.
honestly, we have a vet appointment tomorrow with our dog, and it might be our very last vet appointment with him.
Oh, David, I'm so
No,
sorry.
Yeah,
no.
because I mean, we've only had him for about 6 months, but he was already like 11 years old when we got him, and he
Oh, you
already
adopted a
had
senior
issues.
friend.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's hard.
So
It's
yeah, you know, Anyway, yarn,
Yarn.
pretty yarn. Yes, pretty
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 fluffy
things.
yarn with
No.
beautiful halos.
Crystal.
Oh gosh.
What about
But
the yarn? That bloom yarn. Have y'all tried that? I know it's at Walmart, but I just wonder have y'all tried it.
is that the one where if you do it in the right rows, then it comes out looking like there are like flowers or something?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what. Yeah, Crystal told me that.
That's that yarn Cinnamon Stitches likes, right? The bloom and the bloom chunky.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I
Yeah.
just wonder. I'm thinking about trying some just to try it.
Oh, it's so pretty. I want to try
Yep.
some too. But I am on the most serious yarn ban of my entire life, so.
I haven't bought yarn in so long.
Well, I keep saying I won't, but then I was doing a project and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to run out of this one yarn, so I have to order another skein.
Uh-huh.
Turns out I didn't need that extra skein. So I've got that extra skein. And then I started this other two-tone project. And I'm going, oh my God, I need more of this second tone. So just this past Sunday, I went to Dollar Tree and I found that they had this one color, this one variety, this one color in abundance there. Whereas on the website, it was on back order. So I had already placed an order on the website. So I turned up, I wound up canceling that website order because I bought a bunch of those skeins from the Dollar Tree, the Premier Just Yarn, which is, it's not a bad acrylic yarn if you're going for budget yarn, because it has a nice feel, it works well, I have no complaints about it at all. And I've made things about it. I've talked about my $17 sweater that was all Dollar Tree Just Yarn with $17 worth of yarn. I wouldn't accept $17 for that sweater, by God, because it took hours.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've probably all seen that video with the song that says it cost so much because it took 4 fucking hours. But anyway.
I went to the Dollar Tree here.
Mm-hmm.
They had one skein of, I guess it's Premier, and I guess it was, is it just, it was a Just Yarn?
Just Yarn is...
And it was acrylic, and the rest was cotton.
Okay, this is what you get from Premier, mostly.
Just acrylic, and the rest of it was nothing but cotton.
I don't mess with cotton yarn that often.
So I already have cottons, enough because what it looks like, for what you make dishcloths with and stuff. I've gotten enough of that. But yeah, and usually it's all picked over anyway by the time I get there.
I was amazed. I came away with 11 skeins of that, and I'm sure that's more than what I will need to complete my project. And there were at least that many skeins that I left behind in the bin. Now, if I run out and I have to go back and look for it, I'll bet you dollars to donuts there won't be enough. So I maybe I shouldn't have canceled that order. Yeah, I don't know. And actually, when you price it out, it's not that far in terms of pricing from like Lion Brand Pound of Love or Karen 1 pound. Although I find it just as nice to work with as Lion Brand Pound of Love.
I haven't worked with. I've gotten some. I haven't worked with mine yet. I don't know what to make with it.
As luck would have it, I have some patterns on Ravelry that you might
I
want to
know.
peruse.
I'll head over.
And I have some that I need to actually, I've been saying this for ages now. I have some patterns that I still need to finish and publish, at least 2. I set myself an arbitrary numeric goal for the number of patterns I wanted to have by the end of the year. And I don't think that that was a good thing to do.
No.
Divergent is asking whether I've tried Premiere Basics. I think I have. I think I might have some in my stash, in fact.
Or maybe that's what I saw yesterday.
I think it's probably the same thing as the Premiere Just Yarn.
Yeah, but the rest of it was all cotton. Pretty cotton, too. It's pretty colors.
Mm-hmm. They have a lot of, well, it depends upon which Dollar Tree that you visit also.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, this is just a little one. We have a big, no, wait. This is kind of a bigger one. I don't know.
Okay. No, you're in Newberry, right?
No, I'm in Sumter.
Sumter, okay. There's another one of our friends who's in Newberry.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So anyway, but here in Wilmington, I am within reach of at least 3 different Dollar Tree stores. So
we only have 2 here so far, and they raised the price.
Well,
in a quarter.
Everything is going up. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Everything.
Divergent is saying that Premiere Basics is the same as Premiere Just Yarn, but they have a better selection with the Premiere Basics. Roseanne, are you the one in Canada to whom I owe several old, basically antique crafting magazines? Because I honestly, aside from remembering you specifically, if it is you, I think, I have lost my lists of things to which I owe people, or for which things that I owe people, in terms of prizes and gifts and everything. So Roseanne, I will send out your package. I will let you know when it goes out. I will probably need to win the lottery to send it out, but because, international postage, even to Canada, oh my God. But I'll let you know. And in fact, I will send you more than what I promised, because I have more of those vintage magazines. And no, Lisa, I have not done that either. I am so behind. And in fact, I posted something on my community tab about being way, way, way behind on everything that I have promised people. So Roseanne and Lisa, you are the 2 I can remember that I owe people things to. I have another one. I sent, or rather I tried to send a package to a friend of mine who is now living in Northern Europe, in Germany. It's a really, really beautiful, colorful scarf. But it came back to me because even though I put sufficient postage on it, there was not sufficient information on the customs form.
No.
So it came back to me. Now I have to go back to the post office and ask them, how can I make this good without paying for the postage again? So that's going to take a long time. And by the time he gets it, it will be useless until next winter.
No.
But that's okay. That's okay. Divergent, you're so sweet. She says the only thing I owe her is a smile.
Ain't that sweet?
Actually, I'm so unaccustomed to it that it makes my face hurt. But yeah, it's funny. Just this morning, I was recording a conversation with someone for my next Monday Men, which I hope every one of you will watch because it will truly be a treat. But boy, did my face hurt after that because we had such a good time laughing. It was great. Oh gosh. And you remember the line from Rocky Horror Picture Show? What is it? Even smiling makes my face hurt. It's so hard having a good time. Even smiling makes my face hurt. And that is so me, really. But oh, hey, Elsie Sandy. Oh, do I owe Dooley a big sloppy kiss? Well, I'm not going to do it on screen, I'll tell you that.
Oh no.
Oh, hi, Dana.
I don't
Dana's
want to be
Wanderlust
demonetized.
Crochet.
I everybody.
Nobody wants to see that.
Oh my goodness gracious.
You
Wow.
people are so funny.
We have to be because what's to make you laugh? I'm trying.
Well,
I really am trying to knit, y'all.
I know. Just this morning I wasn't inspired to pick up any of my 40,000 whips that are going. So I picked up a hook and some leftover mandala yarn, started yet another hat.
So I traveled past Mount Whippius, over the Whippalations, across the Whippy Mountains.
Exactly. That's how it is. That is exactly how it is. When I finish this hat made from leftover mandala, I mean, you know how mandala goes. It's self-striping, so you'll be all of one color for a long, long time, and then you'll suddenly switch over to another color. So I'm still in the first color.
Yeah.
But I'm not done with the hat yet.
Mhm.
It might be a pretty big hat just to see how many colors I can get out of this leftover bit.
Oh, happy.
Hey, Lisa Knits. Hey, Michelle's Mosaics. Oh, the fight with my bedside table?
Oh, who won that?
The bedside table, of course.
Hey, Lisa.
You should see the other guy.
No, that was
Hi,
when
Lisa.
I rolled over in bed and suddenly I was on the floor, and the bedside
Oh,
table was there to break my fall
Oh, how kind of
with my
it.
face. So you remember, I think it was August, September when I had that black eye.
oh, that's why I got this
No.
bruise here.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And I got
Yeah.
I had it sore up here where I fell off the bed, and I hit my tail.
In fact, and one of my topic Tuesdays, we had a terrific time coming up with stories about the black eye. The best ones really made my sister the villain. Ha, ha, ha. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was ugly for a while. I still have a little bit of a scar. I don't know if you can still see it.
Reminds me of my
Yeah,
friend. She fell off her bike head first and got a big gash right here. And people kept asking, "How'd you do that?" And she finally just started saying, "I bit myself."
Lisa says I got beat up in a fight trying to get into the yarn store for sale prices. Bearded yarn bruised. I love that.
That's a good one.
We honestly, it was painful in the moment. It did hurt. It did hurt.
Well, I bet. It
And
looked like
it
it.
bled too.
Ooh.
But
Oh man.
it's okay now. But I got a lot of mileage out of it. So in the end, it worked out.
Granny, do you trip you with a bag of bells at the Joanne sale?
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's great, Frenchie. That's a good one.
Oh, Granny D would do that in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. Except I would be the one there holding out an elbow so that she could walk, because we both have our own mobility issues. So I'd be the one there. So we'd probably both fall over and break both of our faces at the same time.
Goodness gracious, what am I going to do with the both of you? I
Uh,
already worry about you.
Uh-oh. Yeah. No, I love Granny D more than I can say. And she knows that already, I hope. But I love to tease people too.
Yeah.
Anyway, Divergent, you're completely correct. Nothing better than laughing through the pain. In fact, the very day it happened, I posted pictures of the black eye and everything. I said, that Cocker Spaniel has a mean left hook. Because we had only had him for a month or two at the time.
I don't even, I take things like that seriously. I'd be all day trying to figure out how a Cocker Spaniel got you in bed. Oh,
well,
so
actually,
Right.
you would find out if you try to take away his food.
Oh.
He can be one of those food aggressive dogs.
But I don't get between any dog and their food, or any animal and their food, really. Doesn't seem like a smart.
Oh, I tell you what, you can't get near my little chihuahua. She's so mean.
So
You know how
yeah.
chihuahuas are.
Only they're little, so they have to be mean about their food.
Your husband's scared of her.
Sort of like short managers that you meet.
I'm telling you, he won't pick her up until if she has to be certain at a certain way for him to pick her up because she bites him. I can barely go on a trip because he goes, I don't know if I can handle her. She's a dog.
Just fill the bowl and walk away. What's
she's a
the hard
dog.
part? Just walk away.
And while I was gone, and she wouldn't sleep in his room because she's used to sleeping in this room. And oh my goodness gracious!
Divergent says Chihuahuas are devil dogs.
I believe it sometimes.
Do you know? Way back in the day, I worked as a typesetter, doing like these offering statements, these IPOs, these for financial concerns. They were like doing these initial public offerings when they would go on the stock exchange. They would be offering themselves for sale. And I remember one for a particular mining concern, and they talked about a facility in the state of Chihuahua in Mexico. And the phrase they used was Chihuahua smelter, which made me think of melting Chihuahuas.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh,
I mean,
my
it
brain
was
just went to
it,
full like Chihuahua armor in Skyrim.
I know, and I know that's of course
So
they didn't
terrible.
mean that, but it
Oh,
was so funny in the moment,
that's
and no one in the room got why I was laughing.
Oh
wow. I bet
But
there's
I thought it was so funny, and it was like in the middle of the night because I was working a lobster shift. And it was in the middle of the night when everything is funny or nothing is funny. And so I ran across this phrase, Chihuahua smelter. It still makes me I don't ever want to see Chihuahuas in that situation, but
oh no.
it's funny.
Oh,
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just picturing like the memes of the really angry ones with their teeth all out. Yes.
Oh, they're the sweetest ones when you get to know them.
Who?
The ones
I
with
mean,
their teeth all out.
the bully, the what they call bully breeds, they're the sweetest ones.
Oh, absolutely.
It's only when they're trained to be bullies that they're bullies.
What? The dog?
So,
Chihuahuas? Who are you
Have
talking
you ever met
no,
a
I'm talking
Rottweiler that
about
is not
any
trained to kill things?
breed.
They're so
about?
sweet.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what are you talking about? I'm lost.
Well, Chihuahuas can be that way too.
Well, yeah, they're just that way. They're over. Well, especially I don't know. If Steve came to me and gave me a hug in front of her, she'd be right in the middle of it because she don't want that.
Wouldn't want to share the attention.
No, it's all about her.
Our divergent, exactly. She says there's not a breed of dogs that she would not love on.
No, it's not.
I would agree. I would agree.
I would approach them very slowly.
Well, I mean, that's an individual thing
Yeah,
on for every different dog.
because you always want to make them, smell your hand and stuff. That's just something always good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, this dog, I think it took a while. He was more attached to my sister more quickly than to me, but he knows that I give him scritches quite freely when he asks. But he also knows that I have my boundaries. Like there's a door to this room. And if he comes in, and he will stick his snoot in the trash can looking for like food, leftover food containers or something, like dogs do. And I'll shoo him away.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he will look at me and go, I know you. I want scritches from you. And he loves the scritches. He'll see me, and I can see what is left of his tail, because he was cropped apparently as a puppy. I will see it wagging. So he knows me. And I know he knows his sister, or my sister, because she is more of a caretaker than I am. So she is the one who does more of the feeding and the caretaking. Because she's not a mom, but she is a mom.
Yeah.
Sometimes she thinks she's my mom. That's a different subject. But anyway, so I think that at least he knows that in the time that he's been with us, that he's been loved. Even if that time has to come to an end soon. And that's hard.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Smirnoff. Anyway.
Everybody's saying yarn.
Yarn, yes, yarn.
Yeah.
So tomorrow might be the day. So my sister and I are going to take him to the vet. And I think we're going to hold him through the whole experience.
Oh, God.
Now, we had a miniature schnauzer when I was a kid. We had her from when I was like 9 until I was 21. At that time, I didn't have the emotional equipment to handle it.
Yeah.
And neither did my mother. And so I came home from school for Christmas that semester. And so we're going, we have to take the dog for this. She couldn't stay. I couldn't go. I still feel bad about the whole thing because I was not equipped to handle it at the time. I don't know that any of us are ever equipped to handle it.
It's very hard.
And you know, I wish we had more pictures of that dog. I don't think we do have enough. Because she was such a part of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yarn.
Yarn.
Yes, and I If anybody wants to reach out to me tomorrow, it will not be unwelcome.
What time do you have to go?
I think it's around 11:30 in the morning. I don't recall exactly.
Okay. Okay.
But anyway.
You know, David,
Hmm?
a couple of years ago, I lost my cat, Mystique. She was 15 years old. And I had gotten her because I was depressed in high school. She was my emotional companion animal the entire time. And I still have her collar in my purse. I carry a bit of her around with me everywhere I go because I just can't stand the thought of not having something of her near me still. And so what I'm saying is do what you need to do to get through that emotionally, because at the end of the day, especially if the animal is suffering and in pain, you just want them to cross the rainbow bridge with ease and happiness.
Yeah. That's what we had to do with Bailey, and that's what we had to do with Zeus. They're the two that we had to a year apart. But Shelby's the only one that she passed in her sleep. But them two, oh man, it was hard. But we had to do it.
Yeah, it's hard.
They were so in pain. They couldn't move.
Yeah, that's how our dog is. He can hardly move because of his I think or my sister, who was a nurse for like 400 years, thinks that there is like spinal damage, but it's really hard for him to move around. There are times when he can't move, but he still has to poop, so it happens inside. There are times when, he will take his pain relief medicines, and he's a little better. But right now, he's not even eating full meals anymore.
Yeah.
And when they're not eating, then that's a primary indicator that something is wrong.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, let's talk about yarn.
Something happier than pets passing, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. I mean, usually I will say, let's talk about puppies, but
Unfortunately,
not today.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about yarn. Oh,
happy little trees and clouds. Let's go to Bob Ross mode. We can do Bob Ross mode.
I don't think I want to be that out of it, but well, actually, I do, but I shouldn't.
My husband watches him all the time. He's got his paintbrushes. He's got his books because he watches and he paints just like him. Or not just like him, but he paints That's where he gets his. Well, that's where he gets. What do you call it? I don't know.
Inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration. That's it. That's where he gets his inspiration. Yep.
Now, there's a guy I see on YouTube Shorts, and YouTube Shorts is basically the same thing as TikTok nowadays. So anything that's on TikTok sort of moves over to YouTube Shorts. I don't even need to be on TikTok, basically. But anyway, he does this spiral art, and I think his name is Mr. G or something,
Oh.
where he does this spiral art where basically he just splotches paints on a canvas, and then he spins them on a drill where he has this like setting thing.
I think I've seen it before.
I think a lot of people have,
Mhm.
and it comes out really beautiful. But then more recently, what he's done, he's taken some of those finished objects, then he will use that as a starting point, and then create other kinds of things on top of that, where he'll like put, say, a bowl on top of the spun art thing, and then using spray paints and different things, he'll create something that looks sort of stellar or intergalactic or whatever kind of adjective you want to use. And then he'll take the bowl off, and the finished object is even more beautiful because you see that the original circle of the spun art, and then you have all of this other stuff layered on top of it, and it's really quite nice. I might have to contact him and ask for something specific. Granny D made an order today. There's a surprise. From Hobby. That's the Danish company, right? Divergent is asking, whom do I find hot in movies? Gosh, I haven't seen that many movies lately.
I haven't either. I want to. Well,
Oops,
I haven't seen the movie.
There's a movie that I want that's out now, I think, that I really want to see, and that is Belfast.
The last movie I saw is Tom and Jerry.
I think the last movie I saw in an actual cinema was the Mr. Rogers movie with you must.
Okay.
Because it was just amazing.
I just don't watch a lot of movies.
No,
I just
I
don't
don't
want to
either,
watch
really.
something that's going to make me cry.
Yeah.
That is my thing too. And so often it's either I invest this amount of time, I invest this amount of emotion, and either it's going to just devastate me, or it's going to leave me disappointed because it didn't devastate me.
I want something that's gonna make me laugh. Like the Tom and Jerry movie was just funny. I'm sorry. See.
So whom do I find hot in movies?
I like Chris Hemsworth, the actor who plays Thor.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, I don't know exactly who you're speaking of, but anyone who is cast in the role of Thor, I'd go for. I would
Yeah.
Let's see,
Gosh,
Jason
who would I
Momoa.
Yeah, he's hot.
Can
Oh,
you tell I
Divergent is
like my
asking
dudes a bit
about
muscle bound?
Oh,
action movies, Divergent. How long have you known me?
action. Action.
Me? Watch action movies? No.
I don't know.
No. I mean, no. I will watch Jane Austen miniseries all day long. I will take Colin Firth when he was young, when he was middle-aged, as he is today, all day long. But, you know, action movies? That's not really me. Yeah, you know, Divergent, I can find eye candy without watching people kill each other.
Oh, the killing isn't the point of the shooty movies, David. The eye candy is the point of the shooty movies.
Hey.
Well, you know what? Killing still happens, and
That's
I
true.
don't want to see it.
Huh? What happened?
Well, she was saying that the killing is not the point of the action movies, and I was saying that the killing still happens, and I don't want to see it.
That is a fair point. That is not going to knock you for
Yeah.
that.
So,
And there's nothing wrong with a good romance. I mean, it is quite sad that for the past
romance.
20 years we've been stuck on Twilight and 50 Shades of Yuck.
No.
You know, not all action movies people end up dead. I mean, there's some action movies that people don't die, you know, and get killed and all that. I don't know.
I'd so rather watch Jane Austen miniseries.
Excuse me for just a few minutes, please.
Okay.
Jane Austen.
We'll be here.
Which I don't watch a lot. Like I said, I don't watch a lot of movies.
50 Shades of Vanilla.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I haven't seen those things either. I've
I
never
didn't see
read that particular book. I've never seen any adaptation of it. But things like well, I love the way that British writers have with language and character, and I think that is, we don't see it as much over here, because I think that as Americans we tend to be much more blunt, much more Fred Flintstone than the Brits do. Not to say that there is no subtlety in American stuff, but you know, Give Me Brideshead Revisited over Gone with the Wind. You know?
Yeah. I only seen that once.
Oh, Divergent Crafter is talking about Mrs. Brown's Boys. Oh my gosh. That is it's hysterically funny, and it's also really, really rude. But they approach rudeness in a very different way.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
And there was well, actually, a lot a lot of our popular TV comedy miniseries or comedy series were adapted from British ones, like
Mhm.
Stepford Son was adapted from Steptoe and Son. All in the Family was adapted from, I think it was called Man About the House. You know, a lot of these. No, Three's Company was adapted from Man About the House.
Yes.
All in the Family was adapted from something else, but and there was one British comedy called Coupling that they tried to adapt over here, given that kind of history,
Mhm.
with successful adaptations, but it didn't work because the American adaptation, at least, was a little bit too vulgar. But, you know, with the British talent for underplay, for just understatement, it was suggestive enough without being vulgar. Do you know? You know what I think it was Dorothy Parker who wrote in a review that she could listen to Katharine Hepburn read the phone book all night and would probably have preferred that to the play that she had seen, because of the way that Katharine Hepburn could deliver it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, I think that, and I will admit that we Americans do tend to overly romanticize things that are British. That we think that anything with an accent is classier than what we can create in the U.S., which is not entirely true. If you've ever seen Coronation Street or EastEnders, um, but at the same time, even those television shows that portrayed, I hate this phrase, lower class or working class UK people, the writing and the acting were both brilliant. So, I mean, I still love to go back and look at the first decade of Coronation Street. Coronation Street came into being at about the same time I came into being, which was roughly 29 and a few years ago, plus shipping and handling. But like, if you look at the first decade of Coronation Street, you'll see characters, you'll see writing, you'll see acting. And the reason that Coronation Street itself was a revolution or an epiphany for British entertainment is because it portrayed people from the north of England. It was written by people from the north. It was acted by people from the north who knew the ways, the speech, everything about the north. It was not London people trying to be northern. It's the same thing as people as non nothing irritates me more than non-Southern people putting on a Southern accent.
Oh.
Do you agree with me, Leanne?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I don't like
I'm
that. Mm-mm.
yeah. So I myself don't have much of an accent because I've lived all over the place.
Yeah.
But if you ever got me on the phone with my mother when she was still around, you would hear an accent.
Yeah.
So I think that what we see more in British entertainment than we do in U.S. entertainment is really accurate characters and writing for those characters. Okay, so I'll get off my soapbox right now. I need a cushion on this soapbox, actually, because I've been sitting on it for a while. Scrolling back through the chat to see what's going on. Sorry for missing people. Brendan O'Carroll is as Mrs. Brown, a male Granny D. That I think that's great. Oh, Bryn Michelle has mentioned a new Medea. Who's the actor? A character who does Medea, the comic actor.
Tyler Perry.
Now, I haven't seen any of the complete movies, but the excerpts that I have seen have looked really, really great. And this is from previous movies. I don't know anything about the new one that's coming out.
He's not for me.
No?
I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Hey, Denny. Glad to see you, as always.
Hey, Denny.
Oh, man.
Thank you for leaving David running in the background, Lisa the Grammy. We appreciate it.
Lisa is lovely to me. Lots of people are perfectly lovely to me. Honestly, people have been so loving in their words and everything else. I cannot express my gratitude enough. Honestly, all I really can say is just thank you to everybody.
Oh, well, we love you, David. That's why we show up. That's why we show up and show out.
You're all just totally very, very kind.
Oh, really? Denny, you're sweet.
Okay, Granny D has a question about Mrs. Brown's Boys, and I haven't watched enough to be able to answer that question. Denny says that Ashley, you got her going on her on a blanket.
She's excited about this blanket that I'm working on.
which is quite nice.
Thank you, David.
You said that was Lion Brown Mandala, correct?
Yes,
And what's the colorway?
it's
Go ahead.
Zen from the Ombre line.
Okay.
I have a whole stack of Happy here too that I can't wait to use. I love the colorway Happy.
Oh yeah, that's
I
where
have
Happy Poncho from. I named it that.
I have a box full of mandala and mandala remnants that I just need to make into something. Because when the last retreat I went to, I mentioned there was a guy who had brought a whole bunch. He was destashing and decluttering. He brought with him a whole bunch of hand-dyed yarns that he was just selling at a huge discount and then splitting the proceeds with the scholarship retreat fund, or rather the retreat scholarship fund. So I bought some skeins there, but on top of that, because he knew me from my channel already, even though we hadn't met in person, he had brought a whole bag full of mandala yarn that he had intended to just get rid of, but he decided to give to me as a gift. I came home with like 20.
I would have been like a kid in a candy store.
I mean, and it felt like, because, it was like he didn't want to, make it a public thing. It felt like we were doing a drug deal, transferring a bag from the trunk of his car to the trunk of mine. And I'm okay with that because it was yarn. And I still haven't used it up.
I have a whole shelf. I was telling VJ earlier, I have a whole shelf in my bedroom that is just all different mandala colors. And I don't know why, but I was stuck on the number 3. So I only bought 3 of any colorway. And that's such an awkward number to do anything with. I'm like either going to have to make very small projects or order more, no matter what I do.
It depends upon what you're doing. If you are using, like, hand-dyed hanks tend to be between 200 and 250 yards each. So for my shawls, one of them will make something like a scarf or a neckerchief or a cowl. 3 of them will make a full-size shawl.
Okay.
I
haven't really ventured into shawls, but I did tell myself that when I do, the first ones I'm going to try are yours.
Well, let me know which one you want and I'll send it to you.
Oh, thank you.
Because actually, I have another one that's ready to publish that I just haven't yet. Another one of those things that I need to do but haven't done yet. Anyway, yeah. So I keep coming up with these new ideas. No, I won't say that always happens, because February is February. I can say February usually. But anyway, but I've been saying that spring came early because I started getting new ideas last week for design stuff. So I'm working on new stuff while I still have earlier whips that I was working on. Well, I'm doing things in between just to keep my hands and my eyes going. You know what I mean? So I'm turning into one of those people with a mountain of whips.
Turning into.
And at the same time, I have a mountain of finished objects,
Uh,
most of which, I mean, any sweater that I can wear, I'm going to keep. But at the same time, I want better pictures than what I have if I want to publish a pattern collection.
mm-hmm.
Same thing for the shawls. I want better pictures than what I have if I want to publish those patterns in a collection.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of my goals for this year, is to publish a collection. So you guys need to keep on my butt about that.
Okay.
Nana Michelle, you just described exactly why I am on a yarn ban. Because I will say, but it's new and it's so pretty and I have to have it. And my family is just finally like, no, Ashley, no. Do you realize you have an apartment full of yarn at home? No. I'm like, yeah.
I think, and I think it's fortunate that I've never really been a first adopter. I lived for 14 years with an Apple employee.
That must have been an experience.
That's an entirely different discussion. But I learned about being a first adopter, and it's just not me. I'll wait until the technology is settled. I will wait until, if it's a new yarn, I will wait to see whether it stays on the market and what other people think of it. I don't need to feel and touch the latest yarns, because gosh knows I've got enough yarn already. I could, if I had no contact with the outside world, I could crochet every day from now until, well, at least a year from now with the yarn that I have. I don't want that to happen, certainly, but I don't need to be a first adopter with new yarns. It's interesting to hear what other people think of them when they come out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to have them.
Well, that's true. I agree. But on the other side of that, sometimes you want to make sure that the yarn company knows that that is something you are interested in continuing to buy, which is what happened with the ice cream divigation yarn that's limited edition right now. I bought that almost a year, maybe 2 years ago, when it was first released, and it was a limited edition only on Lion Brand's website. And I was like, I need to buy this right now so that they know that there's an interest in this yarn and they don't get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweetie, Mom already got me one. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, that is a valid point. And there have been yarns that I have found that, oh, I need more of this. Where do I get it? Is it available anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Even Lion Brand, there was a particular color of Pound of Love.
Yeah.
I could not find locally. I could not find it on the website. I found it through Mary Maxim.
Yeah. She's got a lot of stuff on that website.
Because I needed more of that particular colorway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, it's a balance, like everything in life. It's a balance.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, if I have one skein or one hank of something, I will figure out what to do with that one hank. I mean, this is a shawl pattern that became a cowl because I only had one hank. If I had 2 or 3 hanks, it would be a
So
full size
gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
cowl. Look,
Oh, that's so
just
gorgeous.
adore these colors.
Oh,
Color.
delicious. I want to eat it with my eyes.
I think the name of it has crabapple something.
Oh.
I have I've shown it before. I've shown the label before, but I don't have the label at hand right now. But by golly, it works around my neck just perfectly.
Oh, it looks really nice on you too.
It's gonna stay warm.
Okay, yes, that the Bag O' Day yarn, when that comes out, I'm breaking my yarn band.
Oh yeah, me too.
Like, come what may.
I
Like,
definitely yeah. I already know. I know what color I'm gonna get and everything.
I haven't seen what colors will be available.
I don't
they
know.
all have fun names. Like, what's the
Yeah.
Gary, my yellow canary? That one's gonna be pretty.
Well,
They're all pretty.
she's
I
friends with
love that one.
Gary of Urban Yarns. She's friends with Daniel of Pawply Yarns. She's all of these people who are so much.
They will sell fast. Oh, what if they sell too fast? Oh no! Think about that.
Yeah, I mean,
We're gonna be on
that's
I'm
another thing.
terrified it's gonna sell out before I can get my hands on
I
some.
know we're going to be on guard. We're going to be on top
You
of
know
it.
what?
I'm gonna be refreshing it like it's Rolling Stones tickets.
Yeah, like come on. When is she gonna have it out? I mean, when is it?
Has there been any sort of announcement about
I
that?
don't know. I just don't know.
I
I have no idea.
I have sort of lost patience a little bit with her channel. Every time I go on one of her live streams, there's like 2,000 people there.
Yeah.
Everyone is just begging for attention, and I just can't stay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
she does a lot of really valuable tutorials. That I would go back to if I wanted to do that kind of project, because I have learned a lot from her tutorials in the past.
Yep.
I like her daily life, the vlogs that she does. I can't say I like her or that my taste is in alignment with hers in terms of her interior decor, but that's okay too, because she lives there and I don't, and she is a whole lot more successful than I am, and she knows what to do.
I don't know that I necessarily have to come for her taste interior design. Not that you were, David. I'm just, for me, my problem is that when I go into someone's live stream, I want to come away from it feeling happy. And I don't know what Crystal's emotional and mental health struggles are, but when I go into a Bag O' Day live stream, I never leave it feeling happy. I feel like I just want to give Crystal a big hug. I feel like I've spent my time in a worthwhile way. but I don't necessarily come away from it with that feel good, fuzzy feeling that I get from chatting with you or Sis Dana at Triple C or Granny D. Crystal just has sad energy, and I think sometimes you have to pick and choose which creators that you kind of
I
engage with. Otherwise, you will end up reflecting that energy too.
I completely understand what you're saying, and I understand what you see in her energy, and I think that there is more sadness in her life than she speaks about publicly, and everybody has the right to withhold what they want.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I come away when I enter a live stream, I want to feel like I'm part of a conversation. I don't want to feel like I'm sitting in like the orchestra seats or the family circle, which is like the top tier cheap seats at the Met that are like a football field away from the stage. So if there are like thousands of people in the live stream, I mean, for the creator, it's a good thing to have that many people participating. But for the individual participants, with the chat scrolling so fast, no one can possibly be noticed. And
it is just a bunch of people screaming for attention.
Right.
It is.
very often it is. And honestly, I will tell you, it's a big, very, very big trigger for me if I feel like I am not seen or not heard. On the other hand, Crystal is a perfectly lovely individual. I have had her on this channel, and not only that, she has been extremely generous to me in terms of super chats and such.
Oh, yes. I hope I don't offend her in any way
No,
by
no,
saying what I said. It's
I'm
just that I
sure
have
that
noticed she has.
if she sees that, she would understand what you're saying, and I'm sure that it is a struggle that she herself deals with, because she has gone back and forth with some of these issues publicly, because I mean she's spoken of some of these things publicly, just how much she wants to admit into her private life, or
Mhm.
how much she wants to listen to public opinion. So she is a perfectly lovely person. She has been extremely generous to me. I owe her nothing but gratitude. And I have absolutely no resentment toward her. But at the same time, I can't watch her live streams anymore. I can't. Her tutorials, I would only go to if I wanted to see how to do a specific item, because I've done so many and I've watched so many tutorials of hers and so many others. Her yarn reviews, as I've said, I'm not what was the phrase I used?
First adopter.
First adopter for yarns. So I have learned so much from her, but right now I'm not watching her as much as I used to. I regret that because I love her. But at the same time,
And you
I
you
have
know, oh sorry.
to do what I need to do.
What I was going to say when I almost interrupted you is that maybe a lot of what I'm sensing is that her audience is so huge that she can't, um, give people as much personal attention as she'd like. And I'm
Yes.
sure that weighs heavily on her
Yes.
because, like, she seems like such a giving and caring person. And I'm sure she does want to give each and every person who supports her channel attention and some loving. And, like,
Yes.
that's just not realistic. There's not enough crystal there to give that much to everybody else.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Exactly. And as you say, I've always seen that sense of innate sadness in her. And she finds joy and redemption in the yarn and in her children and in her animals and in her relationship. And I think also in her channel, she also, I think it was before I started following her, she had tried to stage a regional yarn retreat, but it just wrecked her because she has also an agoraphobic sense to her. So that element of human connection in that kind of intense environment, I think, really did her in. So she only did it once. That was a number of years ago. So, and in fact, I myself have struggled with that. I've at the second yarn retreat that I did last year, the one that I still call the better one of the two, the one here in North Carolina, although it's at the other side of North Carolina, which is like a 6-hour drive away. I had to take an evening and just be by myself because I have that agoraphobic, especially after everything that's gone on in the past couple of years. I have that kind of agoraphobic thing going on where I just needed to be by myself. Oh, hey, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
You see, I didn't even realize that. I didn't realize that she went out of her way to go to Walmart during the off hours so that she would see fewer people. It makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know.
It would make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Me, I worked night audit at a hotel for several years because that way, most of the time, you're only dealing with one guest at a time at any given time. It's late at night, it's quiet, you can eat your lunch at your desk because you can't leave your desk.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my life for 5-6 years. And because I don't like dealing with people very much, I loved that.
Mm. Do you know what's funny? There was a time when I worked until like 4 a.m. and there was a grocery store that stated it was open 24 hours. So I went there after closing at 4 a.m. and I wanted to buy something. And they said, oh, yeah, we're open, but there's no one at the register. So, in fact, you're not open.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I'm going, oh, Kai, it's Mother's Day. I need to buy these flowers. What am I going to do? Huh.
I am not the one who put 24 hours on the sign outside. That was the blessed people who manage your store. So somebody needs to open a register and figure out how to ring up my flowers for me right now.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays I would have gone all Karen on them. But back then I was too timid to do that, and back then Karens were not a thing yet.
Well, Karens were a thing. We just didn't call them Karens yet.
It's true. That's true. I hope that we see a recedence of the Karen phenomenon. Probably won't, but I mean, I think that. Okay, let's talk about puppies.
Yes, because I could go on a legitimate diatribe for you on that one, but we don't need to.
Exactly.
I'm going to go right now.
Okay.
Oh,
See y'all
bye,
later.
Crochet with Lamb.
I'm so
Bye.
glad you were here. Thank you for
Oh,
joining
It's
us.
nice to be here. Everything's get back to normal now with myself, and I'll get to come every week now because everything's taken care of. Yay!
Yay!
I'm tired.
I'm tired too.
Yeah, I've been up since 2:30 this morning, so
Uh-oh.
yeah, it's just one of them days.
I have lots of those days.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you were here, and thank you for
All right.
joining us.
Y'all have a nice evening.
You too.
Bye bye, y'all. Bye.
Bye. Hi, Jackie.
Okay, we have a little bit more time. I'm going to post the link if anybody wants to join us in these last few minutes. But we still, there's a lot we could talk about. So much we could talk about that we don't need to talk about publicly.
I don't know. I think after this, I'm going to try to film a small work in progress Wednesday video before it's not Wednesday anymore. And
that's why I started doing my Thwip Thursday. And then I stopped doing that because I stopped having Thwip, or at least I just lost the motivation to do them.
I'm trying to get into good habits, not form bad ones. So let's see if I can't just, even if it's just the little tiny 3.5 minute clip I did of myself crocheting on this one, I'm going to try to do something.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I mean, I have a lot of things that I talk about that I need to achieve or need to accomplish that I could do, within a day if I just set my mind to it, and I haven't yet done it. I need to do another part 2 of my cable crochet tutorial. I need to finish a couple of patterns and publish them. So it's a whole lot of coulda, woulda, shoulda stuff that I don't do yet. And so I could sit here and try to figure out why I'm not doing it, or I could just go out of my comfort zone and do it anyway.
You
And I think
know, David, baby
that's
steps. If you need to write down just one or two or three of the things you need to do, and then once you've done that, just try to check off one of them. You'd be surprised how much simpler it is if you can give yourself the directions to just one thing in your head. Like,
I think
I
that's
I
a
speak from
really good
experience.
suggestion. And honestly, that it's a good suggestion. It's something I've done in the past, and I would have advised other people to do in the past. But we're so good at forgetting those things, aren't we?
Yes.
So, one thing at a time.
One thing
So,
at a time. Baby
tomorrow,
steps.
on top of the vet appointment, I'm going to publish that Tunisian shawl.
Okay.
And if I don't do it by the end of tomorrow, then y'all are invited over here to beat me on the butt.
He's going to say, do you want me to email you tomorrow about that?
Well, I would not mind that.
Okay.
But yes. And then that's one step, one day, one thing at a time. Oh my God, I'm going to start singing in a moment. Stop me, please.
Why? I like it when you sing, David.
Yeah, but it's always really trite little songs that come to mind with these things. Just one step before another, whatever. But
You know, it's better than, my brain went straight to Disney. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
that's a good one too. I don't know the song, but that's a good one.
That's from Finding Nemo. That's Dory's little song that she does.
Never saw the movie.
Oh, it's adorable.
I'll have to search for it. I probably have it. I've got Amazon Prime Video, so there are lots of unexplored treasures that I have not discovered yet. Anyway, I'm going to pretty soon call it a day for this particular live stream and find myself some dinner. And I want to thank everybody who's here, everybody who has stuck with me through the entire length of this.
Everybody remember to do thumbs.
And everybody who is watching on the replay. And like, subscribe, comment, share, all the standard YouTube crap, and keep coming back. Thank you, everybody, so much.
And if you all wouldn't mind dropping by my channel, Sunflowers Creative Showcase and Crochet, I'd love to have you there too.
Oh, please do. Please do, because I highly recommend Ashley as well.
Thank you,
Okay.
David.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.